some observations that I want to raise. One is regarding what the previous speaker just said. I don't believe that this calculation could be correct as far as the increment of salaries of the civil servants, military, and organized forces are concerned. In fact, we are still looking for a way how to even go further than what they are actually getting today. I would like to comment on the budget report, and that is in page 3, which is regarding the table of taxes, fees, and user charges, revenues, non-oil revenues. When you look at the figures carefully, in the month of July, August, September, October, in the month of July and October, the figures were 42 billion, with a very slight variation. But when you come to the month of September and October, the variation in the figures collected is by 10 billion. I don't understand that hyper jump. I want the Minister of Finance to explain that. On the budget deficit, right Honorable Speaker, I'm very concerned about the deficit. The deficit of 46%, which is now going to be funded by the increment of taxes, and we are aware that salaries have not been paid for the last, say, 8 months, even deduct for those who got their salaries. We are going to introduce taxes to people who have not been paid. And these taxes, obviously, are going to hike the prices. The taxes will impact on the already hyperinflation. I would like to get from the Minister of Finance specifically how he can introduce the taxes to cover the deficit without increasing the inflation. We have seen the scenario in the water prices. The water prices, as they fetch from the river, the price is low. But by the time it reaches the consumer in Jamaica, the price is 20 times higher. And when we try to investigate this, they say oil price, the fuel, the accessories for the vehicles, and so on. Now that we are going to adopt taxes, which will affect all the goods and services across the board, are we not going to plunge the country into economic crisis, where now it will now move from water to salt, from salt to sugar, from sugar to meat? This must be clarified very clearly. In fact, our reliance on taxes in an economy like ours, we risk economic collapse. That one, you have to take it very seriously. Right, Honorable Speaker, also in page 55 and page 57, in page 55, we have the committee urging the Ministry of Finance for supplementary budget. Okay. Yes, the recommendation. For supplementary budget, also in 57, also is urging the Ministry of Finance for supplementary budget. And when you see the figures of the budget line being proposed by the committee, and if you calculate as a percentage of the actual budget, it will surpass the 5% restriction, which is put by law. That supplementary budget should not be beyond 5%. Now you have 695 billion of the total budget. And then somebody was also proposing that the roads funds would have been removed from the budget should also be funded, should be introduced. And if you see the budget allocation for roads for the last financial year, it was 443 billion. If you add up this one, you are now going to 1 trillion. Then you have surpassed the 5%. I'm saying this so that we don't go away from, move out from being law-abiding as far as financial management is concerned. While Right Honorable Speaker, I want to register this for those who are proposing to reintroduce the expenses, the funding for roads. We still have outstanding issues with the way the road, oil for road, is being managed. Because 1.5 billion since 2019 went for that project. And the only road we see is from Juba to Board. Juba to Rekeka. No any other. Unless we are told. The proposal that the Minister of Roads and Bridges should bring performance reports to the House is not in place. That is not their work. The Ministry of Roads and Bridges are supposed to be duly audited by the National Audit Chamber. In fact, the Auditor General, who will bring the report, performance report, to the House, and the House will consider such reports. That is a constitutional mandate that we cannot waive from the National Audit Chamber and give it to the Ministry of Roads. In fact, Ministry of Roads cannot audit themselves. They cannot appraise themselves and come and say we have done so good or so bad. We cannot believe that. We want an independent audit from the Audit Chamber. Right Honorable Speaker, on the appropriation bill, section 12, subsection 1, there is a title, under the title, carry over into 2024-2025 budget. This report was presented by Honorable manner 90th. He said for those expenditures that are funded across the budget financial year, they should be funded directly from the consolidated fund. I don't agree with that line of speech for these reasons. Budget runs for a year, 12 months. Anything put in the budget, that is government program. We have the national development policies, we have the short term, we have the long term. And we have the budget aligned to achieve these policies. And every year, part of that policy is budgeted for and allocated resources to be achieved. We cannot authorize anybody who has not achieved what he or she wants in the current budget to run behind the parliament and say they can access the consolidated fund by this provision. So we cannot accept to give license or blanket to those very powerful and privileged heads of government institutions and ministries to come and abuse the budget through this provision.
Please, National Line.
To conclude, there is section 9 also in the same appropriation bill, which talks of construction obligation, that is in subsection 3. It's saying that the Parliament, the Ministry of Finance, should come with the contract to the Parliament so that the Parliament can approve such contracts. I thought the only requirement from the Ministry of Finance is to come with a loan agreement before it is signed. They have to come and seek the consent of the House, how much and how the government should borrow. But issue to do with the contract is the preserve of the Ministry of Justice. They scrutinize all the contracts from the markets, the bidders. These contracts will be approved by them according to the law. So we cannot say we should also assume this role when we already have the Ministry of Justice doing the same role. Otherwise, right from the Speaker, these are the observations that I wanted to make. Thank you.